Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we have successfully designed all that our authentication page, that means the login page, that is a forget password page, right? And also I have designed another page for the registration. So now step by step we'll work with it. So first of all, I want to work with our logging, and into the logging they have the two fields. One is the email, and here I name it, another is the password, right? So here if you go to our admin panel, so friend, that is one of the single application admin panel, and into this here if you go to that admin and if you go to that user, and into the user here you can see that is actually our super admin, right? So I have already created one of the super admin user. So right now I want to create another user from here. So laterally we will also create it from our registration. So right now for access it, I want to create one of the new user, and I just name it as Aryan, and I just put on the password as udemy12345 and udemy12345. Okay, so right now I just simply create one of the user manually from our admin panel. So now you can see that is actually our username, the password. But here one thing, so in Django that is the default authentication system, and into the default authentication system they have some of the by default one of the field, like as the username field, there is a password, there is a first name field, the last name, and the email address. Okay, so that is actually all that by default. So we have to actually use it. That means there is actually one of the database table, and into the user database table area there is all that field. Okay, that means each user table area there is one of the field as a username, password, first name, last name, email address. So now with this we can actually access our two of this. Okay, like here right now if you click as a logout, and if you now go to that our admin, and with the admin area here you can see there is actually the username and the password, right? And also here when you create new users, then you have to put that username and the password, right? So for the reasons here I have actually created it. So if you now click as a our username and the password, click as a login, and if you go to that user, so I have created one of the username user, you can see that is the username as Aryan. So now I want to actually work with this. So here that is our login page. So first of all I want to working with our this login page. So if you go to our site, and that is our template, and that is our login HTML, right? So here that is the our form, so that is our input form. So right now I want to change it. I want to make that as a text type, because here I have to log in with the username, and also here I name it as a username. Okay, I name it as a username, and then that will be as a your name or username, and then that will be another field for our your password, and then ID. So better I want to also update it our ID as a ID, and that will be for the password. Okay, ID password, and the name I just added as a password, and our name as a username. Perfect. And then that is our forget password, and then login. Perfect. So here friend I have updated two of these our input field, one input field for the our username and another is for our password. And from here when you click as a login, then automatically it will be redirected to our this action, that means this form action with our CSRF token. That means it will be redirected to our authentication, that is actually our authentication, and that is our view, and that is our login. Okay, that means automatically it will be redirected to our particular data area. So now here I have to get our two of these requests. That means here that is our two of these requests. Better I want to do, I just click the save all, and if you now refresh it, so right now you can see there is actually our username field, and that is our password field. So whatever the things we will post on here, first of all we have to actually get it right. So for doing this here, that means this, that is actually our authentication, and that is the views. Here I have to work. So first of all I want to create one of the if condition, as we did that before. If our this request, and with this request we have to access that method, right? With this method, first of all I want to check it, this is actually post method or the get method. So right now I just simply added as a post. So first of all I want to check it, and then I want to actually take one of the variable. I just name it as a whatever you want. So I name it as a username, and with this username, whatever the data I pass from here, that means that is actually our input field. Whatever the data I passed from here, we have to get it, right? So now I just simply added that this request post data. So this request post data from our field name. So our field name, I have already added that field name as a username. So whatever you want, so right now if you want to use that name, you can use that name. So right now it's okay with me. I just named that our input field as a username. So here I just simply add it. And also I have to take another one. I have to take another one for our another password. That means that is actually our another input field as a password. So I just simply added that password, and I just take one of the variable name as a password. Okay, I just simply added both of these. So now we have to check it. That means whatever the data I just from our input field I pass it, first of all I want to check it. That means that is our input field as a username and there is a password. So I want to match two of these to our authentication. That means the Django default authentication. That is actually one of the table. That is a user table. Okay. So into the user table area, I want to check it our this username, and also I want to check it there is a password. Right. I want to check both of these. Like here you can see there is actually username and the password. So when that will be matched, then it will be do some of the action. Right, friend? So for the reasons here, I want to check it. So if you want to check it in Django, they have also one of the default one of the method. So with this method, we can actually check it. So that method name as a authenticate. First of all, if you want to use it, first of all you have to load it. There is a form and the Django, and then the contrib. Okay, there is a form, Django, contrib, and the auth, and from here you have to input this authenticate. Okay, that is the authenticate one of the method. And also for the logging, I want to do, they have the another method as a logging. So I just simply also take it, because of all it will be also needed. So now I just take both of these from our auth as authenticate and also the logging. Okay, and also we need our redirected. So if in our render area, I also take another method as a redact. It will be needed when this procedure will be successful, where exactly it should be redirected. So for the reasons here, I take another method class as a redact. So I just simply add it. Perfect. So now with this authenticate, we can actually check it. And here one thing, friends, that is actually one of the default method, the logging, and our method name also I added names as add the same name as a logging. So then it should be create some of the confliction. So better I want to actually change that name. That means our function name, I name it as the auth logging. So here if you want to change it, then also here we have to change it in our URL. Into the URL here you can see I just name it our views as our method name as a logging. So now I want to actually change it. I make the things as a auth logging, and then for the register also I want to change it as a auth register. Okay, registration. So I just simply copy it, and now in our view that will be our another, rather than it will be create some of the conflict. Okay, that is actually the same name. So right now it's perfect. So that is authenticate, I input, and also I input the logging. So with this authenticate, we can actually check it. That means our appropriate username is appropriate or not, and the password is appropriate or not. Okay, whatever the username I pass from here, whatever the password I just passed from here, it should be checked. It's the same as our admin username and the password or not. So for doing this is pretty much simple. I take one of the variable as a user. Okay, I just take one of the variable as a user, and now with this authenticate, I want to put that our, first of all it should be our request. So with this request I want to check that request our username. That means this username actually, friend, in our admin, this username, as I told you, they have also one of the by default one of the table as a user table, and into the user table they have the field name by default as a username and the password. So this username will be match. This username will be matched with our this logging. That means here also I name it as a username, right? First of all it should be check it. So I just simply check it that the username as the username or not. So here I take our all the request post and take the things with this variable. So here I just simply pass it, and also the same things for our password. So this password field in our database table, and this password our input field, right? So I just simply added that password. So that means it should be checked our username is the username, our password is the appropriate password or not. That means our requested password, right? I hope it's very much clear to you. When it should be matched, then I'm going to do and to put another condition, one of the user, and I just take all that our validation and take the things with this variable. So if our this user is not none, okay, so here I just put that condition if this user is not none, but that means if there have any user data, then it should be do some of the work, right? Then it should be do some of the work rather than it should be do another work. So for the reasons here I want to do that will be one work rather than that into the if. That means this if condition here I want to do and to add that another else it should be do another work. Else here I want to do and to print some of the data I want to do and to just print some of the data as a whatever you want. So now I just name it as a invalid username and password or password. So our password. So this type of one of the print data it should be visible. I hope you can well understand about it, friend. And when they have the appropriate data, that means when our username and the password name will be matched, then our this condition will work. So into this condition area I'm going to do and to first of all with our this logging method, right? So with this logging method I want to redacted our this authenticate user. So I just simply pass that request. So that is a request. With this request I want to do and to pass our this authenticate user. I take the things with this variable. So here I just simply pass it. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. And when that means it should be perfectly logged in. Okay, that means this user will be logged in, and when it should log in, where exactly it should be redirected. You can also set it on here. So I just simply return some of the page. So I just simply added the return and the redirect, and also here I have added our one of the another method as a redirect. So with this redirect we can actually pass that user to the specific some of the page. So here I want to pass it like when it should be successfully done, then it should be redirected to our that is actually our profile. I have already created one of the page as a profile page, right? So now I want to do and actually pass it a specific this page area. So that is the I have created, that is maybe in our employee. Go to that URL. Yeah, you can see that is actually our view and the profile. That means here into the view there is a profile. It should be redirected to our employee and profile.html, right? Perfect. That means that is actually our name. So our path name, that is our profile. So I want to pass it in particular that page area. So here when it should be successfully done, then it should be redirected to our profile page. Perfect. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend, what exactly the things I did on here. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, first of all I want to check our server is perfectly now running, and I have already logged in as a user. So right now I want to log with our this Aryan and the password. So that is our admin. I just simply log out, and now here I refresh it. So now I want to put that our username. I have already created that user as a Aryan, and also I put that password as a Udemy 12345. So when it should be matched, it should be redirected to our profile page, right? Now let's check this out. If you click as a login, yes, you can see, friend, it's now perfectly redirected to our employee profile page. That means we can successfully logged in, right? So here we can successfully now logged in. As I told you, it should be checked this our username and password is match or not. So when it should be matched, then with this logging here I just pass that request. That means our request user data, and then that means this user will be already logged in, and then I just simply redirect to our profile page. So that is our URL path, that is a profile, and here you can see it's now perfectly redirected to our profile page. That means right now we successfully complete our logging portion, right? I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. So now I want to do here right now I'm already logged in, right? So when I am already logged in, then here in our menu area I want to change it, like when it should be logging, then it should be display the profile or something. Okay, right now that is our my account, so right now I'm already logged in. So if you want to change it, you can change it with one of the simple condition. So I show you. So that is in our layout, right? That means that's menu I have added in our layout. So now go to our layouts, that means in our templates, and that is our layouts. And here that is actually my account, so that is my account area. So here I want to put some of the condition. I want to put some of the condition as a one of the if condition. Everything is ready-made in Django. They have also one of the method as a is authenticate. So here I want to use it. That means if our user, okay, that means if this user is authenticate, so with this user, that is actually all the default one, so you have to write down as a is underscore authenticated. So with this method you can actually add it. So here also you have to and it, that means the and if condition, right? So here I just simply added that and if. That means when this user is authenticated, that means when this user is logging, then I want to visible one of the menu. So here I want to visible one of the menu as a my profile. Okay, it should be display as a my profile. And else, so I just simply added that else. So here I added that else it should be display our my account. Okay, I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. That means with this is authenticate, with this we can actually define our this user is already logged in or not. So when this user is authenticated, that means when this user is logging, then it should be display our this menu as a my profile, else it should be display our logging, that means our my account. Okay, so for the profile they have also one of the URL. So our profile URL as a profile. So I just simply copy it, and now in our layout, so here I want to update our this URL as a profile, right, friend? Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, so right now I'm already logged in. Now if it not should be visible as a my account, it should be visible as a my profile, right? Now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see it's automatically updated, and now it's showing as a my profile. Perfect. So now I want to actually update our this profile page. So that is our profile page. If you go to that URL, that is our view and the profile, right? So that is our employee. And if you go to that our view profile function, then into the profile function I have loaded our employee and the profile HTML. So now if you go to that employee, and that is our profile HTML, right? So right now I want to actually update it. So better I want to do that is our profile. That is better. I don't need this. I just simply remove everything from here right now, rather than you may little be confused about it. So that is our profile, and now go to our contact HTML. So now I just simply copy everything from our contact HTML, and in our profile HTML here I just simply paste it. So here right now there is our form, so we don't need this part, right? That is our contact page, so I just simply remove it. And that means all that contact form details I just simply remove it from here. And also it should be as a profile page, that means that will be our title, profile page, and then the end blog, and then the body blog, it should be as a profile. Okay, or my profile. If you want to add the my profile, you can add it as a my profile. Okay, so that will be as a my profile. And then here we don't need this map. I just simply remove it, click as a save all, and now refresh it. Yeah, you can see that is my profile, home, and my profile. So here I don't need this. Here here we don't need this. I just simply remove it. I remove it, and also I remove it. So this position I also don't need this actually. I just simply remove it. So I only want to take one will be as a name. That means that our username will be visible, rather than it should be visible as a logout. Okay, it should be display as a logout. So for the logout, I want to make the things one of the para, not the h4 tag. So I just simply added and our paragraph. So I just simply add it, and here also I want to add one of the a herif, so that will be as a herif area. So I just simply paste it. Okay, that will be the logout. And also I want to actually change that things, like there is a 4, so I just make the things as a 6 by 6, then it will be better actually. Right now there is actually the 4 as a 12 column, so now I make the things as a 12 column with the 6 and 6. Okay, so I just also make that as a 6. Perfect. Now let's check this out. If you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, perfect, there is a name and there is a logout. And here I also don't need this icon, that means that is actually our icon, so I just simply remove it, and also I remove it. Click as a save all, refresh it, yeah, there is our name and there is our logout portion. So friend, right now we can successfully logged in, right? So I have already discussed about that things with you. I think friend, it should be very much clear to you. So that is our auth logging function, and here is simple trick. So with this we can actually do that work. So in our next video I want to work for our logout. So right now I am already logged in, so how can working with the logout. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.